As the evening rain drizzled, a group of about 30 people arrived at the entrance of an abandoned sewer pipe deep in the mountains. The place was overgrown with wild tropical plants, making it seem even more secluded. A man, who appeared to be their leader, stepped forward and respectfully performed a fist and palm salute. "Little hero, may we seek shelter from the rain here for just one night?" The sudden arrival of so many people startled Maywoon. He wasn't sure if they were dangerous, but their polite gesture and manner of speaking made him hesitate. They didn't seem like bad people. It looked like they thought he was some young hermit guarding this abandoned sewer. "I settled here a few years ago," Maywoon said cautiously. "You're welcome to stay anywhere you like, but I'm using that pavilion, so please find another spot." The man smiled and nodded. "The young hero is indeed courteous. We will do as you say. Everyone, let's move. Stay away from the hero's pavilion and find other places to shelter." "Understood." "Yes, family head," the group responded in unison. Maywoon noticed the character for Tang on their chests. Combined with their reference to family head, it was clear they all belonged to the same family. Although curious about them, Maywoon simply nodded at the middle-aged man and quickly retreated to his pavilion. It was time to feed the kids. "I'm almost late. Are you all hungry?" He lit a lamp and began preparing dinner. Lifting the lid off a large pottery jar, he cleared away some leaves and grabbed a handful of crickets. He could feel them twitching in his hand. Opening another jar, he looked inside. A large body, furry legs, a slightly yellowish tint. His heart raced a little. He tossed a few adult crickets into the jar, and the creature inside instantly pounced, greedily devouring them. "Eat a lot, Black. What would I do without you guys?" Inside the jar was Black Earth Tiger, a species of tarantula from Hainan, China. It could grow up to 20 centimeters. After watching Black eat, he moved on to feeding the others. The old medicine cabinet held another resident, Bawangling cave gecko. These lizards had striking yellow stripes on their bodies and white ones on their tails. "In my past life, you guys were hard to find due to import restrictions, but here, you're everywhere." He dangled a cricket leg in front of them, and they immediately rushed forward to snatch it. "Ouch!" One accidentally bit his finger in its eagerness. He quickly removed it, then finished feeding all the creatures in the cabinet. Just then, a voice called from outside. "Little hero, are you inside?" It was the same middle-aged man from earlier. Maywoon wiped his hands, closed the cabinet, and stepped outside. The man was smiling. "We're grateful for your shelter. Would you join us for dinner? We caught some deer." "Deer?" Maywoon stuttered. The man nodded. "Yes, we caught a couple on our way. Would you like to join us?" Maywoon had never caught a deer before. The thought of eating one made his stomach growl. He would have never imagined eating snakes and lizards, but here they were his only source of protein. "Sorry guys, I had to survive." A proper four-legged animal, there was no way he could refuse. Maywoon followed the man. They walked past rooftops with missing tiles and half-collapsed buildings, finally arriving at the largest pavilion in the sewer. There, over an open fire, large chunks of deer meat sizzled, releasing an intoxicating aroma. Gulp. The scent of roasted meat filled Maywoon's nostrils, making his mouth water. A soft chuckle interrupted his thoughts. The family head pointed to a spot next to him. "Oh no!" Embarrassed, Maywoon quickly took the seat. The man laughed. "The meat will take a bit longer to cook. Meanwhile, I have a few questions, may I ask?" Maywoon nodded. "Yes, please go ahead, sir." It was common for conversations to start with basic questions. "By the way, do you live alone in these Hainan mountains? How old are you?" "I think I'm about 14 or 15. The family head frowned slightly. 14 or 15? Scratching his head, Maywoon answered. "I lost my memory." The man's expression softened. Oh dear, what a tragic thing to happen. But the truth was, Maywoon hadn't lost his memory. He remembered everything. It felt more like reincarnation or possession. In his past life, he was a famous streamer known as Maywoon Fabre, with 1 million subscribers across YouTube, America TV, and Twitch. He specialized in venomous creatures, spiders, and reptiles. But his career ended in tragedy. 1 million subscriber celebration special, a show about the top 10 most venomous snakes. A bite from a black mamba. That was how he died. I must have become one of those streamers who died doing something dangerous. But why did the black mamba have to pop out from behind the fridge in that shabby hotel? Its venom was lethal. Within 20 minutes, he was gone. And now, here he was, in a completely different life. The family head's voice brought him back to reality. "So you continue to live here alone?" Maywoon nodded. "Yes. I have nothing to my name. I catch snakes and survive by selling their skins." The man's expression darkened. How pitiful that such a young hero must catch dangerous snakes to survive. Even Maywoon found himself a little pitiful. Just then, steaming pieces of deer meat were placed in front of them. The young hero seemed very hungry earlier. but he quickly bowed his head and accepted the food. Thank you. It's been a long time since I've had meat from a four-legged animal. The moment he took a bite, he was in heaven. Ugh! Nothing compared to this. Snake meat was edible, but this was pure happiness. The young hero eats well. Have some more. The old man chuckled. You remind me of my granddaughter back home. As Mei Woon devoured the meat, the family head leaned closer. Little hero, listen while you eat. We came here looking for something. Have you seen anything strange around here? Mei Woon licked his fingers. Something strange? The elderly man spoke up. We are looking for a centipede with blue spots. Have you seen one? Mei Woon's eyes lit up. A new species of giant centipede? The family head nodded. It's called the blue-spotted centipede. It's quite large. How big? The man hesitated. If it's fully grown, it could swallow someone your size. Mei Woon froze. A centipede that big? Suddenly, his excitement turned into determination. He had to find it. Because if there was one thing Mei Woon Fabre loved, it was centipedes. Though Spicy Fabre felt sorry for the centipede, he couldn't ignore the kindness these men had shown him. I haven't seen it myself, but I might know where to find it, he finally said. If the centipede was real, it was only a matter of time before it ended up in his hands. What, are you serious? You actually know where it might be? The disbelief in their voices would have been unthinkable in his past life. It was a strange feeling, realizing how far he had fallen after being reincarnated. Back then, he wasn't just known as a walking encyclopedia of snakes, venomous insects, and deadly creatures. He was the encyclopedia. If it crawled, slithered, or had venom potent enough to take down a human, he knew everything about it. From their habitats and diets to their unique behaviors and hidden dangers, there was nothing in the world of reptiles and arthropods that he hadn't studied, handled, or talked about with absolute authority. Now, he was just a kid surviving in the wilderness. See, this never would have happened before. But then again, it wasn't just his reputation that had died. He had. Spicy Fabre searched through the encyclopedia in his mind. His eyes remained closed as he flipped through the pages again and again, desperately looking for the answer. Finally, he found it. Found it, he muttered. Shaking off the grim thoughts, he turned to the two men and said, Yes, if it's a large centipede, I think I know where it might be. Oh, where do you think it could be? Yes, where is it? Their anxious expressions made it clear they wanted an immediate answer. But before revealing anything, Spicy decided to ask about the areas they had already searched. He needed to confirm if they had overlooked the place he had in mind. Could you tell me which areas you've searched and when? The older man exchanged glances with the younger one before nodding. We've searched the northern and eastern regions over the past few days, mostly during the daytime. The north is mainly along the riverbanks. Spicy thought for a moment. If the northern area was near the river and the eastern area was a jungle, it was no wonder they had been searching in vain for days. In that case, it's only natural that you haven't found it, he said. What? Natural? Why is that? Is there a reason? There were dozens of reasons he could give, but he opted for a simple explanation. Centipedes were fascinating creatures. They belonged to the phylum Arthropoda, class Chilopoda, and were part of the myriapod group. As cold-blooded animals, they had unique habits. They claimed specific territories and required proper shelters. Most insects had smooth, water-resistant exoskeletons that allowed water droplets to slide off. However, centipedes had weaker water resistance and tiny, breathing pores on their exoskeletons, making them dislike overly wet areas. While they needed high humidity, too much moisture was harmful. At the same time, they couldn't survive long in overly dry environments either. This made them unique, but it also meant that large centipedes would avoid riverbanks or jungles, where there was little suitable shelter. So, centipedes don't prefer rotten logs or similar places. The older man's tone suggested he found this hard to grasp. Some smaller centipedes might be found there. But didn't you say you were looking for a large centipede? Centipedes do like humid environments, but too much moisture is harmful to them. Moreover, large centipedes prefer places where they can hide their bodies. Dense jungles with fallen logs or small river rocks aren't suitable since they lack proper cover. I see, so where do you think it might be? If we find the blue-spotted centipede in the place you suggest, I'll make sure you're generously rewarded. Their eager expressions showed they now believed in Spicy Fabre's explanation. He pointed toward the west and confidently replied, You should search the rocky mountain to the west. Centipedes typically rest under sun-warmed rocks during the day and venture out at night. That's where they would most likely be. The crimson sunset burned fiercely, just as the heart of Tang Clan, head of the Sichuan Tang Clan and the heavenly poison scholar, was consumed with worry. Another day was coming to an end. Clan leader, could it be that the young man's words were mistaken? The cautious question from the Venom Blood Squad leader made Tang Clan glance at him quietly. Let's stop for today. Eat dinner and send a signal to my father's group. Understood, clan leader. Whistle! As per his command, a signal arrow shot into the air, and the warriors laid their tired bodies on the mountain's mid-slopes. I'm dead tired. Finally, we can rest. I hope that young man was right. Why can't we find that damned centipede? I know, right? The young man seemed sharp enough, though. Tang Cheolsun's daughter, Tang Huayun, was regarded as one of the most exceptional talents in the Tang clan's history. Has heaven truly forsaken my Huayun, the greatest talent in the Tang clan's history? After confirming the signal, the rest of the warriors and Tang Museong joined Tang Cheolsun's group. Nothing today either? Tang Museong asked with a pained expression. No, father. Did you find anything on your side? No. Though their faces revealed the truth, the father and son exchanged meaningless questions, desperate for hope. Tang Huayun had only 3 months left at best. With travel time accounted for, they had just 10 days to find the centipede, adding to their growing desperation. Father, what if we search the southern area tomorrow? Since we've found nothing so far, perhaps changing our search area? Tang Cheolsun cautiously suggested shifting their focus to the south, where they hadn't searched yet. Nothing. No traces at all. But just as Tang Museong shook his head in response, his voice suddenly rose with excitement. Wait, nothing. Could it be? His voice trembled with realization. What is it, father? Did you sense something? No, I didn't sense or find anything. Tang Cheolsun frowned at the unexpected response, but Tang Museong continued with fervor. That's exactly it. Think carefully. What have we found in this mountain over the past 3 days? Nothing. No traces, no droppings, not even bird feathers. Wait, a thought struck Tang Cheolsun like lightning. Exactly. How could such a vast rocky mountain show no signs of life? Not even a trace of mice or deer? A territorial animal, the family head murmured. Yes, they all fled. Or became food for the centipede, the old man added. The blue-spotted centipede is definitely here. Now we can save Huan. The family head finally exhaled in relief. As if to confirm their realization, the ground suddenly trembled. Oh, what is that? What on earth is happening? Help! What's going on? The flat rock where the warriors had lit their fire shook violently, then was suddenly flung aside, revealing a dark hole. Look. Crash! Boom! A chilling sound echoed from the opening. Shh! Under the dim moonlight, something began to emerge. A massive body covered in countless writhing legs. Its back shimmered ominously, its vivid blue spots glowing under the moonlight. It was the blue-spotted centipede, just as described in the secret compendium of venomous creatures. Tang Cheolsun's voice rang out sharp and urgent. Everyone, stay on guard! It's the blue-spotted centipede! On this full moon night, as he sat in his house, a distant noise caught his attention. They probably found it, he muttered. What a mess. Just how big is it to make this much noise? He sighed, shaking his head. I told them to look for it, but they're practically turning the whole mountain upside down. A centipede big enough to swallow him whole. I really want to see it.